Are those the tears of Yankee fans, or is it just raining outside?
A little bit of both.
Can it
Pretty
be
good.
both? I think it is both.
A little salt in there today.
Thursday, it's raining, but we're here. We're ready to go. Mark Haskell, Zach Miller, welcome to the press box. We're going to talk some local stuff here. We're going to talk NFL playoffs. Sorry, NFL. Like, we're not talking NFL. We're
Not
talking
yet.
MLB.
That's a couple weeks away.
MLB,
A
baby.
couple months away.
But we're going to start with local stuff. First being high school girls soccer. Camden Hills hosting Brunswick. Kristina Kelly going for her 100th career goal. She gets it with time winding down. Unbelievable game. We were both there. We'll start with you. Just give me your impressions on this 6-0 win over Brunswick.
Well, going into the game, obviously, this was the game that decided the Class A North top seed, barring that Camden Hill still wins out, which they should, no problem, because they've beaten everybody to a pulp this season, including Brunswick. And I think Kristina Kelly hit everything except the lottery before she got her 100th goal. I think she hit the crossbar, both posts. The goalie made some pretty nice saves. She was only a freshman, by the way, so Brunswick's got a pretty good goalie coming up. Mm-hmm. And for them for Camden Hills to down Brunswick 6-0. And a more underlying factor in this game was Eliza Roy getting a hat trick and Kaylin Krull scoring 2 goals as well.
Yeah,
all before Kristina scored her 100th goal.
When those are the second and third most important things in your game, that you know that something's wrong. But obviously, Kristina's goal came late in the game. The game was pretty much decided at that point. At that point, it kind of just became like a will she or won't she. I mean, everyone's just kind of waiting with bated breath. And it was really, I was talking to Meredith after the game, the coach for Camden, and she said it was actually kind of dramatic, and they're not used to a lot of dramatics on the field. So it was just this great feeling of, will she, and then it was about 12 minutes left, and then she finally got it.
Yeah, it was funny to listen to the crowd. You're watching the game, taking pictures, filming getting video. And every time Kristina got the ball, you hear the, oh, come on, Kristina, come on. The gasp and the tension would rise, and then she'd shoot, and then it would go wide or hit the post, and it would just the air would come out of the room, and until it built back up again, until she finally got it, which was a hell of a goal, by the way, that she made all those defenders miss and just kind of went around 3 different people. And
turned herself around and just used her left foot and just snuck it right between the goalie and the near post.
Not even wearing her own cleats, too.
That's right. That's another interesting subplot for the whole game. So, we're midway through the first half, and all of a sudden Kristina goes for a shot on goal, and her cleat just explodes. Like the sole comes out, the bottom, and she's, we've got this great video of her picking up the shoe, and she's just like, oh, what do I do? And she goes over to the sideline, and luckily there was a JV player named Ivy Merriam who had the same size shoes as Kristina, either 6.5 or a 7. And brought him down to Kristina, so she ended up scoring her 100th goal in a JV player's cleats.
It's funny, and I think even if there was no other pair of cleats, she would have played in her socks or in her bare feet, and she probably still would have scored the goal.
No doubt. She's a tremendously talented player. Obviously, Camden, they're going to be the #1 seed in Class A North this year. They'll be going on to hopefully defend their state championship for a 3rd year in a row. But we're going to switch over to field hockey now. So the field hockey standings are final. So we've got Oceanside and Camden. They're both out in Class B North and Class A North, respectively. But our 2 Waldo County teams, Belfast and Mount View, very much in the mix.
Yeah, Belfast and Mount View have always seemed to be, at least the past couple of years, to be the hot field hockey teams around the Mid-Coast. Mount View is going to be the 3 seed in Class C North. They've kind of ran a nice little winning streak there for a little while. They've had a really nice second half of the season in Belfast. Lost their first game to Lawrence, and then lost their final game to Gardner.
And then won 12 in a row in the middle.
12 in the middle. So they're the 4 seed out of Class B North, which is actually a very top-heavy group with the Gardner, Foxcroft, Winslow, and Belfast as the 4 seed. So Belfast has a very, very tough time to win a state championship. They face MCI in the semifinals because they get a first-round bye.
Well, it's
going
to be MCI in the quarterfinal game, and that's going to be a rematch of a semifinal from last year. MCI won that game 3-2 in double overtime. MCI went on to win the state championship. So now Belfast has to beat MCI on that same field again. And then if they win that, they're probably going to face top-seeded Gardner, who they just lost to 1-0 to end the regular season. So those are going to be 2 brutal games for Belfast to get through.
I think they'll get through MCI this year. I don't think MCI is as good as they were last year, but people said that coming in. People thought Belfast was just going to kind of roll right through MCI and just go on to continue their dominance in the field hockey world. But MCI put up a hell of a fight and scored 2 late goals in that game, and then scored the game winner.
Yep.
And just sent Belfast packing and up at a point lookout. But this year it's actually going to be at the high school, so we'll see how the change.
Well, I don't know. I think they might still play at Point Lookout. I think Jan likes to play on turf whenever she can.
I know, but Terry sent an email today saying it was going to be at the high school, at Belfast area high school. So we'll see.
Right,
Maybe they will.
breaking news.
Maybe they will change it because it's not until next week.
That's
so
true. That's true. You never know.
Who knows? I'm sure the coach will have some input.
But Belfast, they've outscored people 81-10 this year. So I mean, this is a team that's got a lot of offensive firepower. They're led by Lindsey Bruns, Cassidy Clark, Mallory Tibbetts. You've got Casey Falkingham, Maya Cunningham. I mean, all those girls can score. Amy Gaillero. They can all score at will, and Brooke Richards is terrific in goal. So this, I'm not saying this Belfast team can't win. I'm just saying they've got a tough road. But if you go to Class C North, all of a sudden you look at Mount View's chances, and you're thinking maybe they've got a shot here. They're the number 3 seed, and they're going to play number 6 Maranacook. They beat Maranacook 3-0 on September 25th. So they know they're playing a team that they can beat. And if they win that, Dexter is the number 2 seed. So let's just jump ahead here and assume that Dexter wins. And we've got Dexter Mount View in the semifinal. Mount View just beat Dexter 3-0 on October 3rd. In fact, Mount View, they outscored opponents 17-0 in their final 5 games, including beating Maranacook and Dexter. So they could potentially be playing a team in the semifinal they've already beaten, and kind of decisively.
Yeah, I think most of the Mustangs' losses this year are to teams that are in B, or in B actually, or in C South or whatever. Better teams than obviously that they faced during the year. But yeah, like you said, Mount View's got a good shot to go to the regional final in field hockey and also in boys soccer too. So maybe Mount View sports are up on the up and coming here, and could be bringing them some hardware this year.
Absolutely. And Mount View's field hockey, they've got girls like Devin Burgess, Maddie Knowlton, and Sophia King, and they can all score. They score in bunches. And their goalie, Thurston Illingworth, obviously she's had shutouts in the last 5 games. So now the field hockey playoffs are here. We don't know what's going to happen. But Belfast field hockey, they play next Wednesday. Still haven't heard from Mount View when their game is, but my assumption is it'll be middle of next week. But take a look at the Knox.VillageSoup and Waldo.VillageSoup websites, and we'll have that all updated for you as soon as we get it. So now we've got all the local stuff out of the way. Let's talk some Sox.
Let's get to the Yankees tiers.
Let's do that, shall we?
Yeah.
So the Red Sox and Yankees. Obviously, the Red Sox win the series 3-1. I mean, we're split after 2 games going to Fenway. And I'll tell you what, I mean, you look at that series, I mean, the Yankees had all the momentum.
Oh, easily had all the momentum. After the Red Sox lost Game 2 in Boston, I said, I think the Red Sox are actually going to lose the series because the Yankees were undefeated at home past 2 years in the postseason after beating the Athletics in the wild card game, and took one in Boston, so home field was gone. But then the Red Sox come back and absolutely destroy the Yankees in Game 3, 16-1. I went to bed when it was 10-1. I was like, this game is over. The Yankees are not coming back from this.
I had planned on watching every minute of Game 3, and then all of a sudden, right around that same time, I was like, let's go to bed.
And then I wake up and look at ESPN and all the other sports things, see that Brock Holt hit for the cycle, the first ever person to do that in the postseason. And it was like, of all people to hit for the cycle, it's Brock Holt.
How deep is your offense when you've got somebody like Brock Holt coming off the bench to try to provide you a spark? He gets you the cycle, and then he doesn't even see the field in Game 4.
Exactly.
That's unbelievable to me.
And then we have the Red Sox jump out to the 4-0 lead or something like that, and then Craig Kimbrell almost blows the save, and the series is almost tied.
He obviously was feeling the pressure there in Yankee Stadium. Bases are loaded. He hits a guy, forcing a run. And you're thinking you can feel this thing unraveling right in front of you. But then finally, thankfully, Steve Pearce stretches out and just gets his foot on the bag and
half a second.
And ends the series. I mean, if that game had been extended another 2 batters, we might not be in the ALCS right now.
That's true. And all the Yankees needed was a double, or maybe even a single, then they would have won that game. And then Game 5 comes back to Boston. The Yankees have all the momentum again. And you're just, who starts that game for Boston? Do you throw Chris Sale back up on the mound? Granted, this is all hypothetical. We have to worry about it now.
Right. Yeah, but they're choke artists. They're brutal choke artists. So we don't have to worry about that now.
It's great to see the Red Sox beat a 100-win Yankee team in the ALDS.
And I'm not even a Patriots fan. I'm going to say this. Ready? I'm going to quote Belichick. Ready? We're on to Houston.
Yeah.
We're on to Houston.
But it's funny that now the Red Sox have to deal with Houston, who's a better team than the Yankees are. And in the process, Houston won 103 games this year.
Right.
So this is actually the first time a team in MLB postseason history has faced back-to-back 100-win teams.
That's unbelievable. And obviously, this is a rematch of an ALDS from last year. Houston went on to win the World Series last year. So now you just got to knock out the reigning champs to get to the World Series.
Whoever wins this series will win the World Series.
So you've got Sale and Verlander going in Game 1, and then you've got Price and Garrett Cole going in Game 2. And can we just talk about why is David Price starting Game 2 of this series?
He should be out of the bullpen right now.
I can't for the life of me figure it out. Like you could almost talk me into, let's start start him game 3. Let's start him game 4. Like, let's get him out of Fenway, because I feel like the Fenway fans are going to be all over him. But I feel like there'll be less pressure on him in a game in Houston. It's inside. It's climate controlled down there in Houston. I just feel like the fans won't eat him alive in Houston like they will in Fenway Park. I don't know.
Why wouldn't you throw Price in the bullpen, have Sale go 1, which he's going to do against Verlander, have Eovaldi go 2, Porcello go 3, and then start Sale again in game 4? Because by then you always have that a day off or 2 days off for travel, and then a day for rest in between each game. So by the time you get back to game 4, you've already had a week and a half.
Or as you call David Price's starts, the bullpen starts.
Yeah,
like they basically just do what the Oakland A's did against the Yankees and just throw all relievers.
Yeah, throw
'cause he
all
can only hit 5
every 2
batters.
or 3 innings. Yeah. And just do it that way. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because his ERA was
Alex,
over 11.
You know what? It's hard to disagree with anything Alex Cora is doing right now, because I was screaming at the TV at the start of Game 4 against the Yankees, going, "Why is Brock Holt not in here? He's not that much better than Kinsler." And Kinsler comes up with a big hit for us. I'm like, okay, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. That's fine. So it's hard for me to question Alex Cora at this point. But I don't know how you can look at David Price and think, I have confidence in this guy. I feel like this guy can win a game for us, because the goal is to not split games 1 and 2 in Fenway. The goal is to be up 2-0 going to Houston.
Oh, you need to be up 2-0 going into Houston. If you're down, if you're tied 1-1 or if you're down 0-2 going into Houston, chances are that Houston's going to win the 2 games in Houston before it goes back to Fenway, or the 3. Is it 2-3-2? Is that how they do it? Or
Yes,
is that,
yes,
okay.
2-3-2.
So you have 3 games in Houston, so you better win the first 2 games at Fenway.
And Houston is no joke. I mean, they're they beat the Red Sox 4-3 in the season series, and most prognosticators around there are giving the Astros the edge in this series. And our homerism aside, maybe we do too. I don't know. I do. Yeah.
I give the Astros the edge.
You look at, they've got Bregman, they've got George Springer, they've got Jose Altuve. He won the MVP 2 years ago. And obviously the one thing is that Carlos Correa, their starting shortstop, he's been having back trouble. He's been using anti-inflammatories, and he came off the DL on August 10th, and he's only hit 180 the second half of the season. So you look for little things like that, how can we try to sneak out a run here and sneak out a run there. But I think offensively they match up really nicely with Houston. But when you look at Houston's bullpen and their starting pitching,
they definitely have an edge, especially in the bullpen category. If you look at any of the Red Sox big statistics this year, they had the highest home win percentage at 57-24, which comes out to about a 704. But Houston has the highest road win percentage in the MLB.
Something's got to give.
The same exact record. So something has to give there. Boston has the most runs per game at 5.4. But Houston has the lowest ERA at 3.1. So it's like everything the Red Sox do, Houston's like, yeah, well, we can counter that. And
we've got to.
It all depends.
I believe in Alex Cora at this point. He knew that we needed to switch things up in Game 3. He pulled Kinsler. He put in Brock Holt. He pulled Nunez, and he brought in Devers. And it's not like Devers has been playing great offensively, but he's like, hey, we need to shake this lineup up. We need to do something. And they explode for 16 runs.
Yeah.
So I feel like I trust Alex Cora's judgment in how to manage this team. I hope to God that we can get something out of David Price in Game 2.
Yeah, the Astros also hold the series lead so far this year, 4-3 over Boston, which also includes a series win in Fenway later this year.
So we'll chat again next week, and hopefully we'll be talking about the Red Sox being up a few games on the Astros, or maybe we'll be having a World Series preview. By then, we're going to be in the thick of things for field hockey playoffs, soccer playoffs for high school will be starting up soon.
Yep.
Everything's going to be wrapping up here in the next few weeks, so you'll be seeing a lot more of us. So until then, I'm Mark. This is Zach. This has been the Press Box.